What is up, everyone? Guys, listen up. In today's video, I'm going to be going over the top 3 best builds in Helldivers 2 against the Automatons. If you're looking for the top 3 best builds against the Terminates, the link is going to be in the description. Okay, let's get right into it. The first build that I'm going to be covering is my favorite stealth build when I'm playing against the Automatons, and this overall loadout just makes it so easy to complete the main missions, and on top of it, it is very fun to use. We're going to start off with the Quasar Cannon. We're going to combine it with the shield, but let's say you don't want the shield. A great option and something that I use a lot of the time when I'm using this build is the one and only jump pack. This is another way to make the stealthy gameplay really fun, and on top of that, you're gonna have way more movement. So this is gonna be up to you. If you want more survivability, slap on the shield. If you want movement, go for the jump pack. Then we're gonna pick up the orbital laser. This one, guys, is an absolute monster against automatons. I never go against them without the orbital laser. It can literally just clear out the whole zone on its own. It doesn't care. And the final one is going to be the Eagle Smoke Strike, one of the most underrated tools against the automatons, by the way. But that's not all. First, let's quickly pick up our stamina enhancement, and then we're going to take a look at the weapons. You're going to have a few options. You can pick up the Plasma Punisher. In most cases, I do, but when I'm running this stealth build, I like to combine all of this with the Scorcher. It literally gives you that kind of Metal Gear sneaky kind of gameplay, this whole combination here, and I think you're gonna enjoy it a lot. For the secondary, you can carry the grenade pistol if you want to, but what I like to do is run the Senator. The fact that it has medium armor pen and it's just so good against automatons in general makes it an easy pick for me personally. And the grenade of our choice is going to be the stun nades. The reason I like this is because if we do get spotted and let's say Hulks are pushing us, you throw one of these bad boys and then you swap to the Quasar Cannon and easily take out the Hulks. Guys, when I was recording this video, I forgot to talk about the different armor options that you have for this specific build. So let's quickly do that right now. The first option is going to be the Scout Trailblazer armor that you see right now. It reduces the range at which enemies can detect the wearer by 30%, and this can be very clutch against the bots. So this is what I run 90% of the time when I'm running this build. However, if you want more survivability, you are going to have another option, which is the FS55 Devastator armor. You can run this with this build and it works, but for me personally, the Scout armor just makes it easier to complete the missions. So if you do like to play stealthy, this is the build for you. Now let me explain. So what I like to do, guys, is to get to some positions where I have a good visual on some of the missions. So for example, you have to destroy some of the ships. You can do that from far, far away thanks to the Quasar Cannon, right? You have the shield for survivability, Quasar Cannon to get the missions done from far away. If you're pushing into a base, you throw in the laser, it takes care of everything. Then you have the smoke, right? You're going to smoke the whole area where you got to complete the mission and you're good to go. Smokes are very underrated when it comes to survivability against the bots. If you haven't yet, make sure to test it out. You'll see you can even survive like gunship attacks thanks to the smokes. You just smoke everything around you and you're good to go. Now, you could also pick up these smoke grenades, but I do feel like when the Hulks show up and maybe sometimes you mess up your stealthy gameplay and you get spotted, stun grenades have more value. But that's also going to be up to you. You can test out both and let me know what you guys think about these options in the comment section below. For the second build, we're going to keep the Quasar Cannon. However, instead of the shield, we are going to be picking up the Ballistic Shield, okay? These loadouts are actually really fun with the Ballistic Shield against the bots, and we're going to combine it with the SMG as well. Let me swap to that one. Now we're going to have 2 options here. You are going to have the Defender, or you're going to have the Pummeler. Now, personally, I still like the Defender more. I know that a lot of people enjoy the Pummeler, so I'm going to leave this choice up to you. Whichever you prefer, go for that one. I'm going to slap on the Defender. Keep in mind, the Pummeler does stun Devastators, so it can be useful in many situations. For the secondary, we're going to be using the Senator. For the grenade, we're going to be using the stun grenade. We're also going to keep the same heavy armor for this one. The explosive damage reduction comes in clutch. For the stratagems, we're going to combine the laser with either the 500 kg. This is useful if you run into tanks, for example. It takes them out pretty easily. Or you can pick up the Eagle Airstrike which is just good across the board. And this is the build right here. So how does this one work? So the way I like to use it is I have the Quasar Cannon for all the ships, turrets, even tanks when I need to. I'm gonna keep the laser to clear out the bases. However, if it's getting really sweaty and I need to throw it, I'm gonna throw it. I'm not just gonna sit on it 24/7. I'm talking about the orbital laser, by the way. And then I have the 500 kg when I have bigger targets and I need bigger firepower. I'm gonna use this one, for example, on the factory striders, tanks. You guys get the point. And then the ballistic shield in combination with the SMG is really fun, and it will up your survivability. In combination with this armor, it's pretty easy to stay alive. But one thing I will say is that you don't always want to get into fights, because when you're going against the bots, no matter what build you have, if you do not navigate right throughout the map, you will get in trouble. Because if there's 3 or 4 gunships attacking you and you're just standing there in the middle, you can have 4 ballistic shields. It doesn't matter. You're going to get destroyed. So play smart. Don't just run around like crazy, because in that case, nothing's going to save you. Not the ballistic shield, normal shield. You can wear 5 different armors. You're still going to go down. Apart from that, you're going to be covering pretty much everything in the game. Another cool tip is when you're running away, make sure that the shield is on your back, because it will be blocking damage. Now let's talk about the third build. For this one, we're going to pick up the one and only laser cannon, which is extremely strong against the bots. We're going to combine this with the shield for extra survivability, and we're going to keep the laser and the 500 kg for this one. For the primary weapon, we're going to swap from the SMG to the Dominator in combination with the Senator and the stun grenades. This build is pretty straightforward. You have the laser cannon to destroy most of your enemies. As long as you know what you're doing, you need a bit more precision with this weapon, obviously. And then on top of that, you do have the Dominator when it gets crazy. You have the Senator with medium pen, stun grenades to kind of slow everything down, then swap to your laser, take him out, or drop a 500 kg on top of him. The lasers you have for base destruction. However, if you're getting overwhelmed, don't sit on these stratagems. A lot of people do that, by the way, where it's extraction time and they still have like 2 lasers, right? They've only used one of them, or they are very afraid to throw the 500 kg for whatever reason. Keep in mind that the 500s are on a very low cooldown, so when you get a chance to throw them, just do it. Don't be afraid to use your stratagems. Then we're gonna have the shield for extra survivability. So overall, this build is also amazing, especially when you're playing with a team. On its own, the laser cannon is extremely underrated. It really is. And I feel like a lot of people are sleeping on it. So if you haven't yet, give it a go. Try it out. I promise you, you will not be disappointed. This thing is an absolute beast against the bots. And just like the Quasar Cannon, it has unlimited ammo unless you completely mess it up, which, let's be honest, you shouldn't. So once you do understand how to use it and you don't overheat it all the time, you're gonna have this up way more frequently than the Quasar Cannon. That's one of the strongest things about the laser cannon. The survivability with the setup is also pretty good. You have the heavy armor, you have the shield, so you are gonna be tanking quite a lot of damage from the bots. And we all know that the bots have insane aimbot. They are going to be hitting you. So to have that shield and heavy armor combo always comes in handy. Okay, that is it, guys. These are my top 3 favorite builds against the bots. Make sure to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Also, make sure to let me know what builds you guys are using. I would love to hear it. I know that people use some crazy builds overall, so having those discussions is always a lot of fun. If you guys did enjoy the video, and only if you did, don't forget to slap the like and sub to the channel. As always, stay positive, stay disciplined, and I'll see you on the next one.
Let's go!
I mean, we literally have the best community of all time.